What is up, everybody? Well, I'm back on to finishing this thing up. Putting the duals back on right now. Man, those things look good. Somebody had asked, they saw this in the background when Mrs. G was power washing all the paint off these. That's where I got it from. It makes this job a whole lot safer and a whole lot easier once you take the forklift and get it up on that hub. You can turn the tire to line up your bolts. It's just kind of awkward with one person like trying to get it on. It's not awkward with it on the tractor. You just lower the thing down, jump off the forklift, kick one leg that way. It's when you're trying to put it on a dual by yourself that's like leaning against a shed wall or something. It'd be easier with two people, somebody that can lift and lower the forklift to get it hooked. But other than that, once you got it on there, you're pretty well set. They came Friday. See, there's a big cable for the auto steer. I don't know how well you can see it. But yeah, they stuck a bunch of those stickers that have the slot for zip ties, and they're all peeled off. I'm gonna have to do something different there, but brand new monitor and easy pilot steering system. This step was all in some of the other videos I showed it, but it was all kinked back, and this piece was like way twisted. So what I ended up doing is I went up above, so where it was straight, because it flexed here because there was more support here with whatever they hit. But I just took a cutoff, a grinder with a cutoff wheel, and I went down, and then I cut straight down there. Then I could take this crumpled up piece and put it in the press. It took some doing, but I got it pretty darn straight, and then I'll put it up there, and I'll weld that back together on both sides, and then grind it down. This other piece, so that's the front half. This was all kinked too, but I was able to get it straightened out in the press. Sorry about that. That was probably loud. But then once I get it, so I'll bolt this one back on. Then I'll take a couple of the steps, and I'll bolt. It's like this one right here. Bolt the step in there to make sure everything's square with the world, and then I'll tack this plate back on, and then I'm going to take this whole battery box assembly off, weld it good, and then sand it down and paint it. Then what else is left? I'll wait till you see this. See all these harnesses? I got to run all of that into the gab. Yeah, this is a ISO harness for the planter. Then there's 3 power harnesses, because there's 3 air compressors on my planner, and I could probably get away with eliminating 1, but I don't want to find out that it's not enough. So there's a compressor for the row cleaners, there's a compressor for the down pressure, and there's a compressor for the air clutches. So this whole rat's nest needs to get run, and this Pro 700 is just going to control the planner. I mean, they already, when they put in the auto steer last week, they've already got all kinds of harnesses wrapped up under that console. So it's going to be interesting to get all of this and make it look tidy in here. Well, this is what I meant. I bolted up these 2 steps, got this all clamped between the jack and 2 clamps. Now I can tack weld this, take the steps back off, and I'll weld this relief cut, weld that in and grind it down. But that's way more gooder than the way it was before. Mrs. G is sanding and priming and painting. I got the battery box for the Magnum all straightened out, ground all the welds down, couple coats of filler here, and be like brand new, right? Don't you have anything to say? Oh, okay. Getting the mahong off of it. Well, I got the step all back on it. All the harnesses run. Mrs. G is out giving it a bath to get all the dust and stuff off of it, and then we'll do the final walk around on this project. Just using a brand new power washer for the first time. That's one of the power washers, but we'll do a video on power washers. All right, the tractor's out of here. It's finally done, but before we go outside and look at it, I'm going to answer some questions or comments that I got during this rebuild or restoration process. Somebody asked if I'd say how much it cost and if it made sense for a farmer to like go to the dealer and have this done versus trading into a new or newer tractor. That's kind of that's a hard one to answer, because I have the equipment and the knowledge to do all of this in the shop to do it in. But if you were to take this tractor with the amount of hours that I just spent on it and ask the dealer to do it, number one, they're not into repainting or any of that stuff. They do the mechanical end of it, but it'd be, my local dealer, I think, is at $160 an hour. So if I added up all the time that I have in this thing all this winter, it'd be a pretty astronomical bill. But also, new equipment is pretty astronomically priced too. So I went on Case's website here and I tried to find a comparable tractor. So the 240 Magnum, I got it dialed down to the most bare bones I could on the options. So that's 240 horse at the flywheel, this tractor, I guarantee, would dyno at the PTO at 250. And if it didn't, you know, my Magnum, just a couple turns with a little screw. But this is the closest I could find. And then when I built it out on here, that's, and then it says another 8,000 for something. But so just figure 400 grand, you know, 400,000 to get a new comparable tractor to the Magnum, to the 7250. If I didn't add up to a T everything that I just spent on it, but I've got a pretty darn good idea. Rough numbers, I would say, with the new motor, fuel system, turbo, AC system, radiator, all the miscellaneous stuff, the exhaust manifold, the air cleaner housing, the muffler, the paint, I'd say right around 30,000 in parts is what I just put in it. And I purchased it last summer for like 55,000, I think. So say I have 85,000 in this tractor. Restored, new motor. Obviously the transmission's not new. None of this is a brand new tractor. But some of the horror stories I've heard of some of the new tractors and the quality of craftsmanship, quality control, it's pretty scary what some of these new tractors have come off the line, the problems they've had immediately when the farmer gets them the first day. But with this, you know, you're at 380,000. So let's say with my auto steer that just got installed and everything, say I'm at 100,000 all in on this Magnum. There's no emissions equipment on it. It's a mechanical pump tractor. Very reliable tractor. And I could do 4 of them for the price of one of them. So that clears that up, hopefully. If you got any more questions, let me know. But why don't we go outside and take a look? Well, there she is, boys and girls. My step all straightened out. Got a quick hitch on it. That's where the planter plugs in, and then these air lines hook to the planter. There's more harnesses down here that hook to the planter too. That was a nightmare running that ISO harness and all the other harnesses in there and trying to make it look nice and neat. Mrs. G used Wizards, it's called Black Renew, on the fuel tank, shined it up. I got to put a little touch-up paint on there. I think it looks really, really good. Me and Mrs. G are pretty proud of it. We spent a lot of time on it. Interior's all cleaned up. I replaced this piece of plastic right here. I still got to get this little door, but That was a pain in the ass to replace that piece of plastic, but it's over $500 for just this piece right here. All the wiring and everything's run in here. Tried to tidy it up the best I could. And I got all the monitors jammed in here. So here's the new Trimble auto steer monitor. And then that runs this motor here for this auto steer. That's called Easy Pilot. This is a Pro 700 monitor. This is what controls the planner for folding it and my monitoring of all the rows. And then this is the clean sweep that adjusts my row cleaners up and down. Midland two-way radio. Jammed a whole lot of stuff in that pillar, but everything looks good in here. AC works really good. Take it for a ride. So the next thing, this is going to go to the other building. It's going to get hooked up to the planner. Get all the hydraulics hooked up and put all the stuff, the measurements in the monitor for my row shutoffs, and then I can fold the planner out and go through the planner. It shifts really nice and smooth now with the accumulators recharged. It's Easter weekend. Mrs. G's mowing the lawn for the first time. But hope everybody has a happy Easter. Just take her over to the other shop and back her in next to the planner. Anybody that watched the video on that international loader tractor, I fixed the loader. It's the easiest fix ever. I still have the tractor. Back her in here. A lot of my old viewers haven't seen this shop for a while. Jack's clapped out Cadillac is on the lift right now. For sale. All right. Okay, guys. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you watched the whole series, and I'm glad this one's done. We'll start on the next one. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.